What's going on, everybody? This is episode 2 of Trash Deer Radio. It's me, Tyler, once again joined by the man himself, Chance,
Yo.
and of course, the even taller man himself, Lucas.
What's up, boys?
All right, guys, today we're going to be talking to you about a lot of stuff, a lot of topics to cover, so we're just going to dive right into the first one. Big news out today is that Aaron Rodgers just got paid in all capitals. Was $134 million with 101 million guaranteed. That's a lot of money.
100 million guaranteed.
I thought it was 101. Either way, a lot of money for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Chance, what's your reaction?
Bro, I would get all that in dollar bills. Fucking fill a swimming pool up and just lay in it for days. Just get totally fucked up and just lay on all the dollar bills. I'd probably get some hookers too.
Would this be during the season or after the season?
It would be today. I would get my big fucking check. First, I'd get one of those big cardboard ass checks that they give out. And then I would walk into the bank and demand bills, single bills. And I would go and fill a fucking pool up. It'd have to be like a public pool so it could fit all my ones.
That is a lot of ones. But if you got it all in nickels instead?
Nickels, I don't like nickel. It's not my favorite element.
Lucas, how do you feel about Aaron Rodgers getting paid?
I mean, it's amazing that someone can get paid that amount of money, like $100 million. He's gonna have $80 million by March of next year already, just the way his
I
contract's
think
set up.
someone said he's gonna get $1 million every week.
It's something
Like
ridiculous.
a $1 million paycheck every week.
And it's only 4 years. Like, he still has probably at least 6 years left in his career.
Well, yeah, I think, but isn't Aaron Rodgers like 31 or something like that?
Yeah,
Like
Tom
30.
Brady's over 40 years
Well,
old.
yeah, but Tom
He's-
Brady is a cut from a different stone.
I think
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers is
is
right up
closer
there.
to 35.
See, but I'll do a quick Google search. But no, I mean in the sense that Tom Brady's an outlier. Tom Brady's not the norm.
He's
Is that
34.
Is that yeah? Okay. Tom Brady's not the norm of going into his. Normally quarterbacks don't go till they're 41 years old and still perform at a top level end. You know what I mean?
But people think Rodgers is right up there with him, if not better than Brady.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not saying that he is. I think he's a darn good quarterback. He's
I
probably,
don't think he's.
I think from an athletic standpoint, he's a way better quarterback. But I feel like Brady is, the better.
I feel like Brady has the hardware that Rodgers doesn't.
Brady has had the perfect coach and perfect team his
Mhm.
entire career since he took over.
Yeah.
To fit his strengths. Roger has been carrying the Packers for how many fucking years?
I don't know. Well, first he had Favre in front of him, and then
Yeah, he sat
Favre
for a
got
couple
kicked
years.
out,
But I
and
mean,
then-
he's literally put the Packers on his back though. He's been carrying them.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like the big comparison between the two is like, oh, Brady has 5 Super Bowls and Aaron Rodgers only has 1. And it's like, yeah, but besides that, like, what's the difference? Like, Rodgers has had what? I think it's just as good of a QBR as better than any other
He has
QB so
he
far.
has the highest quarterback rating in NFL history.
Yeah, which
He's a great
ridiculous.
quarterback. That's out of the. That's not even a question. But compared to other quarterbacks, I think it's well worth it. I mean, I think he got what he deserves.
Oh, he definitely deserved it.
Now here's the question: is now what if you're not New England? If you're Green Bay, what do you do next?
You gotta surround Rodgers with fucking pieces. You
Yeah, but
gotta
isn't
go
that
after a chip.
Yeah, but isn't that the problem that they've had is that they can't surround him with pieces?
Yeah, because their front office is fucking stupid.
So what they just let go of Jordy Nelson, his favorite wide receiver.
Yeah, and Rodgers has been bitching about the wide receivers he's had this whole preseason because
So-
they're a bunch of young guys that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Does that mean Des Bryant's going to Green Bay?
I still think Dez goes to Cleveland.
Why wouldn't he go? Green Bay would be perfect for Des Bryant. I never even thought about
Why
that.
would you not? Like if you're Des Bryant, he's just no one wants him. But we'll try to circle back to Aaron Rodgers. So who do you guys think is going to be the next QB to break the contract barrier?
That's a tough question.
I don't know.
I know that Jameis Winston, the crab leg thief, has a contract coming up.
Dude, I would be surprised. I would not be surprised if he got cut from the team.
Oh, I know, dude. He's a clown.
He's not even that good. He's a solid okay QB.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's definitely been I wouldn't say he's a complete bust, but he's a bust for his draft grade.
I mean, you also have to look at Matt Stafford. Last year, he got paid $137 million as well, and Matt Ryan $150 million.
Dude, look at Kirk Cousins. He got
Like,
$84 million guaranteed.
fully guaranteed. Yeah, the only one ever in the
and
NFL.
he's an average quarterback. It's
yeah,
just insane.
it's just the way that
So do
the
we
pay
think-
grade is now, and just the way you need a quarterback nowadays. You can't just.
So do you think Do you think Aaron Rodgers' contract is more based off of how good he is, or just where quarterbacks are getting paid to now?
I think
And
it's
that
just,
I think it's a mixture.
Aaron
of
Rodgers
both.
is just like the next step.
yeah,
Like,
he just happened to be up for a contract extension, and he's also a great quarterback.
however, I do think now teams can actually use Aaron as like a cap almost.
But I think
Because-
that's what Green Bay did in a way. They looked at what like Kirk Cousins got and
Mhm.
Matt Stafford got, and they're like, "Well, hell, if we wait too long, we'll be paying more for Rodgers."
Yeah,
so let's
someone
just
could have
get
offered him
now."
150 million, and they would have paid it because he's worth it. But since all the other ones are right around where he got paid, that's where it fits.
Yeah, but now if you look at someone like Tampa Bay or something like that, it's like now if like Winston's like, hey, I'm just as good as Matt Stafford or something like that, which I'm not saying he is. I don't
No,
think he is.
he might be around the
But
Kirk Cousins
other
range,
QBs.
like 80 million, 90 million, maybe not 137.
But okay, so you guys even admit there's like barely, there's probably like maybe 2 QBs better than Aaron Rodgers, if that. And still, even then, you'd have an argument that he's the best QB out right
I
now.
would say he's definitely in the top 3. Like you
So-
can switch around the top 3 all you want.
There's 29 other QBs then that should not get paid anywhere near to what Aaron Rodgers
Oh
would
yeah,
get paid.
definitely.
So now other teams could use Aaron Rodgers as like, hey, that's the cap now. Like that is the
Yeah.
You can't get paid more than that unless you're like, I don't fucking know, Cam Newton coming off of like an MVP season where I'm not saying Cam Newton's as good as Aaron Rodgers,
But he's good enough, and
You-
with just the way the pay just goes up, it's gonna happen. He's gonna get paid.
yeah, you just gotta look at like. I don't know. I just feel like you got to look at where things are.
It's just
and
how it
whatnot.
is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is also right situation, right time. But I feel like now Aaron Rodgers kind of sets a cap because, of how good he is. It's because he's not
All
in
right,
the league.
OBJ also signed a massive contract,
What was that deal? It was like what? Oh, I haven't pulled up here. Let me look up. Yeah, OBJ got paid.
5
well.
years, $95 million,
Was $65 million guaranteed, coming from Bleacher Report.
and that is just.
Now, do we think good or bad deal for
Ridiculous.
OBJ?
I think OBJ deserves every dollar, but for the Giants, I think it's a bad look.
yeah.
Why is it a bad
You
look?
can't have your receiver be your highest paid player, in my opinion.
Yeah, but are you gonna pay Eli that money? Because I sure as shit ain't paying Eli.
Well, I'm not saying
anything.
Eli. I'm just saying, like, Eli's on his downslope. If he probably has less than a couple years left. I mean, you got Saquon Barkley. Who else do you have on that team that's going to carry your team? Like, you're going
At
to waste
least
all. You're going
offensively.
to and you're going to dump all this money into your receiver, and then not have nothing to do with them.
I would like to point out that Antonio Brown is the Steelers' highest paid player.
But
Got you on that one, Lucas.
But Antonio Brown is the GOAT. It's like a different.
he's only getting paid like 17 million, I think.
Yeah,
a year.
yeah. He's definitely not
OBJ's
making
over
up
19.
near OBJ, but he's still like the
I mean, but
highest
like
paid
it's
Steeler.
$2 million that big of a, thing. I guess what's the cap? 200 million.
I couldn't tell you what the cap is.
But I just think it's one of those things where, kind of right place, right time. Because the Giants, what were they? They're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
If they don't sign Odell Beckham, Giants fans are pissed.
And whereas exactly, they're pissed. And then what are you gonna do? Franchise tag OBJ? I don't even know if they could franchise
Because he's a
tag him.
top 5 wide receiver. You can't let him leave.
Yeah, I
I'd say
mean,
he's
he
probably like a
deserves all the
top
money,
2,
but
3.
like, I don't know. It had to be done. I mean, there's no you
Well, yeah,
can't
that's what I'm
not
saying.
pay
You're
him.
damned if
He
you
can't
do,
go
damned if
anywhere
you
else.
don't.
Like, it's just what it is.
Because if you don't pay him and he walks and goes somewhere else, everyone else is going to be pissed because they're like, there's a generational wide receiver. There's the next Jerry Rice just walking out the door. But it's like, then if you do pay him, now everyone's going to be like, well, we can't go get any other pieces because guess what? Our entire cap is in Odell Beckham. And he
gets
with another girl.
injured every year.
Well, he was only injured last year, I thought.
He gets injured a lot.
He's a crybaby, too.
I just hope he's been playing good boy here since, his contract is coming up. So I just hope that he kind of,
I don't know. I hope they do good. I've been a Giants fan for a while, but it's just
I think assuming health, they'll do okay.
I
Yeah.
hope he takes the heat off Saquon and he tears it up.
he has a potential to do so much.
Well, speaking of heat, Chance, I know you wanted to talk about the Browns linebacker who's under some pretty big heat right now, aren't you?
Yeah, newly acquired this offseason, Browns middle linebacker Michael Kendricks is facing a potential 25 years in prison for illegally purchasing and selling stocks from insider trade partners. It's a felony charge, and he's currently under custody by the FBI. I just think it's funny. The Browns always think that something good happens to them, and then it just shits all over their face within a couple weeks.
So did they just sign him? The
He got
linebacker?
traded like a couple weeks ago. He came from the Super Bowl champion Eagles to the Browns. He's like a really good linebacker.
Wait, what was his name?
Michael Kendricks.
I don't know. So he's actually a good linebacker. He's now fucked.
Oh
Pretty
yeah.
much. So now, what do the Browns do? Like, does that go against the Browns and their cap? Are they still like, hey, you have to pay a dude who's?
If he goes to jail, they don't have to pay him, and it won't count for his year, so they'll still have him for like, say he gets out in 25 years, he'll still be under contract for whatever the hell he.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of shitty because it's illegal, but we kind of gotta appreciate it because it says he turned 80 grand into into 1.2 million dollars in 5 months.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen with that
Not a
1.2
big deal.
million?
I mean, yeah, he's obviously not gonna
He
use
also
it, but
made
imagine if
20
he wasn't caught. Like that's pretty lit.
He made 20.6 million playing 6 seasons in the NFL. So I mean,
Dude, what a dumbass.
he kind of threw it away.
Because like, if you think about it, how was he an old guy? Like, is he
No,
older?
he's fairly young in
So
his
if you
late
think about it,
20s.
if you could have literally tripled your money and just gotten like $100 million by the time, I guess
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
more than tripling. But if you got $100 million by the time you left the NFL, you'd be set for life.
Oh, yeah.
You're set. Your family's set for a couple generations. Then like your great grandchild's like a fucking shit because he's trying to live off daddy's Super Bowl money. But
He won't be doing any breeding there in jail.
all right. Well, the next topic we can cover is the top 100 list from ESPN that came out for the top 100 NFL players. I'll go over the top 10 on the list, and then we can go from there. Number 1, Mr. Big Contract himself, Aaron Rodgers.
Overrated.
You're saying that's overrated right
He
off
can't
the
be
bat.
number one.
Why?
I mean, he's just. What has he done to prove he's number
Okay,
one?
well, let me finish
sorry,
the top
keep
10, then
going.
we'll come back to, speculation and stuff. Number 2, the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Goat.
Number 3, Aaron Darnold.
Goat.
Who's he play for?
The Rams.
Okay, I didn't know if he was just saying
Fucker.
shit. Number 4, Antonio Brown.
The goat.
Definitely the GOAT.
Number 5, Von Miller.
Kinda high.
Number 6, Drew Brees. Number 7, Lev Bell.
Way too high.
Le'Veon, as they say. Number 8 is Julio Jones
Goat.
of the Atlanta Falcons. Number 9, Jalen Ramsey, the guy who I'm pretty sure was talking all that hot shit a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh, he's a hot shit talker.
Well, hey,
He's
apparently,
a hot quarterback. Though.
according to ESPN, he backs that shit up. And then rounding out the top 10, a man that does not have guaranteed money right now, or at least a guaranteed long-term money, in Khalil Mack
Goat.
for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's one pissed off boy. I won't want to get in his way in recent weeks.
Okay, so out of that quick top 10, Chance, do you got any?
I think Rodgers is too high.
Who'd you put one then? If Rodgers is too high, who are you putting one?
You got to put Brady at number 1. I mean, I'm not by any means a Patriots fan, but you have to respect.
You have to appreciate.
You
what
have
Tom
to
Bra-
respect
you know his
greatness.
skill.
But see, this is the other thing. It's not based off last year. It's based off of what you think they're going to do this year.
Yeah, but it's fucking Tom Brady, dude.
If you don't think he's making the championship game, you're stupid. He's gonna at least make it to the AFC Championship again.
The guy has fucking 5 Super Bowl rings.
I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying that Brady's getting up there in age. He's about 40
I
some
know,
years old.
but he's still
good.
the fucking GOAT. He's still slinging the rock.
Dude, he's one big, huge hit away from having like a broken collarbone.
He doesn't
being
get hit
done.
'cause he's
And
got a
that's
good
what happened to
line.
Aaron Rodgers last year.
It's gonna happen to Tom
Like,
Brady this year, except he
I
doesn't-
mean,
do you think-
I-
how much milk do you think he drinks?
He doesn't drink any milk, I don't think.
Giselle just fucking massages him all
He
day.
drinks like kale shakes and shit.
But I just said this when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers. Like, yeah, he's a great quarterback and he's an amazing talent. But like, I don't think he's proven himself enough to be number 1 or the greatest quarterback of all time. Like he gets labeled. Like, yeah, he's a great quarterback. Like we said, top 2, 3 quarterbacks, but number 1 in the league is a little absurd.
Okay, so are you putting Rodgers 2 then? Where are you putting Rodgers at?
I would put Rodgers at 3.
I mean, top 5.
I would put AB at 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
top
so-
5 players. He's top 3 quarterback, top 2
Okay, so you're
quarterback.
saying that Rodgers would be 3 for you?
Yeah, I would go Tom Brady, AB, Aaron Rodgers.
Fair enough. What about Aaron Darnold?
Maybe 5.
I think it's up
I think
there.
Drew Brees should be 4 too. Actually, I would intertwine. I would switch my pick of Rodgers with Brees. So I think Brees is the 3rd best player.
You're putting Brees number 3, Drew Brees number
Yes.
3.
Yes.
Now tell the audience that you are a Saints fan. Are
I
you
am a
not?
Saints fan, but go look at the record books.
Listen, I'm not arguing it.
I mean, yeah, he's true. Like he's
Drew
accomplished
Brees
more.
has 5,000-yard passing seasons.
He's accomplished more.
And no one else has more than one in
and
NFL history.
Like I said, Aaron Rodgers hasn't
the
accomplished.
guy has 5.
But I think pure talent, Aaron Rodgers is better.
Oh, like I said, Aaron Rodgers is the most athletic quarterback in the league. But it's not all about being athletic. You got to be a field general.
Yeah.
And you have to be.
He's a good quarterback.
You can't be injury prone. Rodgers has been hurt so many times in his career.
Drew Brees does what he does best.
And now what? You guys think Lev Bell is a little high
I
on
think
this
Lev
list?
Bell is certainly
I wouldn't
Now,
7.
have it be noted, Gurley, I think, is... okay, I'll go down to the next couple. 11 is OBJ. 12 is Gronkowski. 13 is Gurley. And
I
then
honestly
14 is Joey. And then 15 is Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay, Zeke's way too high.
Can you tell me where Russell Wilson is?
Russell Wilson, actually, that is a good
19,
transition to the
20.
17, 18, 19 of Carson Wentz, Big Ben, and Russell Wilson. Please tell me how Carson Wentz coming out of a blown Achilles or whatever. No, not a blown
I think
Achilles.
he tore his ACL.
Torn ACL is better than a healthy, coming off of a pretty healthy season of Ben Roethlisberger and Russell Wilson.
Carson Wentz is one of those things. He has like pure talent. He's a pure athlete. He's a great quarterback. But like I said, with Rodgers, he hasn't done much to. If he wouldn't have got injured last year, he would have been MVP.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's played like 1.3 seasons.
Yeah, so
And
he
like-
hasn't done enough yet, but he has potential to be top
Oh,
10.
he has
Oh,
the
yeah, no, I
potential to
agree.
be
I
the
think-
next Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
I mean, if he would have had a healthy season and he was in the top 5, I would not argue it one bit.
Yeah.
But the fact that he has had a blown ACL, which was it from a non-contact blown ACL? I don't know
No,
if
he
you guys
got
know.
hit.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
it
I
was
heard a
from
game.
Yeah.
Either way, he's a blown ACL and you're a quarterback. He's not even going to start week 1. And you're telling me he's better than
Ben
Big
Roethlisberger,
Ben.
who sets fucking franchise records every single year, pretty much, and records
Russell
across
Wilson,
the league.
who pretty much carries the Seattle franchise on offense.
It does.
Ever
dude.
since Marshawn left, he pretty much has carried that team.
That's why ESPN's a fucking joke nowadays.
I mean, like,
Who
I
wrote
just wish-
this? Was it Mel Kiper?
I can try to look. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, some of these things, like, I don't understand. Like, okay, and here's my other thing with Le'Veon Bell. So, back to Le'Veon. I don't think he's going to be good right out the gates like he was last year because he skipped training camp, obviously. Which, he has all the right to skip training camp. That's on him. He wants to get his money. I can't blame him for that.
And the biggest thing is not even skipping training camp. It's the fact that he knows he's not coming back to the Steelers. Everybody knows he's not coming back to the Steelers next year. So he's going to play for himself in his contract next year. So he's going to sit out. I think he's going to sit out at least 2 games.
Do you think he's going to sell 2 actions?
I heard
he's
today
gonna
that
start to
he might not show up for week 1, so that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Listen, here's an idea I had in my head. Going back to the number 10 guy on the list. Is it possible to do a Khalil Mack trade for Lev Bell?
I would love to straight up do that trade. I
Let's
don't think
put
the
Khalil
Steelers
Mack as
have
running
the cap
back.
space.
Huh?
Let's put Khalil Mack as running back.
Well, no, I mean, just in the pure sense of just imagine getting
No,
just
I
an
think Khalil
elite...
Mack's more valuable than Le'Veon Bell.
I would nut all over my face if Khalil Mack suited up in
I'd nut
black
all
and
over
gold.
your face if Khalil Mack was the black and gold.
But, I mean, if you're Pittsburgh, would you consider something like that? Would you think...
Yeah,
There's no
I'm
way it
sure
would
they would
happen.
be
You
open
don't
up.
think it wouldn't happen?
I'm sure
Why?
they'd be open to it, but I don't think the Raiders would do that.
You don't think the Raiders would want to pay Lev Bell?
No.
To go along with their new coach,
I don't think.
who has yet to talk
I mean,
to...
it's possible next year, but like I don't think Khalil Mack's. It's not going to be like a 1-for-1 trade.
That's just an idea that popped out of my head. You take
No.
disgruntled superstars and you try to trade them around and whatnot.
I love that idea. I would straight up make that if I was a Steelers GM.
Rob Gronkowski as number 12 is offensive. He should be top 5.
Yeah, I'd put
Gronkowski is one of the
I'd put
greatest
him in the
players
top
of all
10.
time.
I'd put him in the top 10. Top 5 is reaching.
because the other thing is injury. He's not
That's
playing
true.
the whole season.
But he's so good.
Oh, yeah, he's good, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's him and Tom Brady pretty much go to the Super Bowl yearly.
Yeah, you don't even need a fucking receiver when you got Gronkowski.
All right.
I think Gurley's better than Lev Bell already, and Gurley's fucking.
I think Gurley's younger. He's gotten paid at this point. So, now number 35, another standout I thought was Matt Stafford. Do you guys have a problem with him at 35?
I think he's underrated.
I mean, if we're talking about quarterbacks, he's a good quarterback. If we're talking about there's so many players, and this is just straight up players.
Now I'm
I
pretty
think
sure that
he
is
I think he's around the 30 mark for players.
He would be like the sixth quarterback on the list at this point. At 35, he would be the sixth
I
quarterback.
think it's disrespectful that he's underneath what's his face from the Eagles.
Wentz.
I think that's disrespectful right
Matt
there.
Stafford?
Stafford
Yeah,
doesn't
to
never
Stafford.
has the tools to work with.
Yeah,
Stafford's like a
he's-
solid
He's
quarterback.
played on a bum ass team his whole career.
He's just a really solid quarterback. Like, he's not amazing. He's not the GOAT, but he's a good
Yeah,
quarterback.
he's gonna give you it all. Like
Yeah.
every week, he's gonna be there. He's gonna fucking throw for however many
like,
yards.
Yeah, he gets like at least 400 yards every time.
He also has a 5,000 yard season.
Matt Stafford?
Yes, he has one. Not to Breeze's 5.
All right. Next thing I had was J.J. Watt at 41. Tell me how J.J.
That's
Watt.
insulting.
Tell me how J.J. Watt. Yeah, he's only going to play like 8 games, but in those 8 games.
3 years ago, J.J. Watt was considered like the greatest defensive player in NFL
I think he's
history.
still it has to be one of the top
I don't
5
understand
greatest defensive players.
him
like,
healthy, how he's not up higher than. How he's not higher than. You know, you could put him in front of like Carson Wentz, Big Ben, Russell Wilson. I wouldn't even argue that. Because
I don't
it's
know.
just.
Quarterback's more important than.
I think he
I'm not
deserves
saying
it.
he isn't more important, but
I
I'm
think he
just saying.
deserves to be in the top 15 just because of that game he played with a broken ass nose with his blood gushing over his face. Like
Yeah, but
that
that was like an intimidation.
that was like the most badass thing I've ever seen.
So you're saying that is extremely underrated.
Oh,
Criminally
for
underrated.
sure. It's just because he's been hurt so many times
And I
in
think
the last
if
couple
he
years.
was on a bigger market, like not the Texans, he'd probably be.
But I feel like the Texans are a solid team.
But they're not like a big market. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, but I mean,
imagine if he was on like the Cowboys or like
but like, is Pittsburgh really a big market?
Yes.
Steelers are one of the
In
biggest
football, it
franchises
is,
in the
yeah.
world. Yeah.
But like, you know, like what other teams? Like Giants. I mean, they're in New York, but
The Giants are a huge team. Like,
But I don't feel like they don't get like a bunch of like national attention. Like, yeah, they're in New York.
I
It's
bet
New York.
you just think that because we live in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that could also be it.
They show a lot of Giants games on TV.
No, you know, New York. Okay, other big thing at 62 was Jimmy G, and at 63 was Cam Newton. Tell me how that one
I just don't. I
sits
don't,
with you
I
guys.
don't understand.
Jimmy G's played 5 games in the NFL.
But
he's
he
literally
hasn't
started.
lost.
But he's never lost, dude. He's the
Yeah,
goat.
I
He
understand
is.
never
He's
lost.
gonna be
Dude,
really
he's
good.
6-0, bro.
He's gonna be really good. But
Someone
to,
say he's
to
better
say
than MJ.
to put him above Cam Newton is just absurd. Like,
I just don't see where this list comes from in the sense of
They're
like,
obviously not going based off of like experience.
or
No,
previous.
it's
I
gotta
mean, this
be-
is next year. This is supposed to be this upcoming
Well, this is
season.
fucking
where do you
dumb.
think they're at? And
Doesn't
I
make
just don't see
sense.
how you can put Jimmy G, a guy who's literally played 6 football games, which, to be honest, he looked really good with 49ers last season at the very end. But how you put him above Cam Newton and MVP, which, I mean, Cam Newton I think is overblown a bit, but at the same time, you know.
Jarvis Landry is 82.
82?
I think that's way too low.
Where's DeAndre Hopkins at?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
I think he was up earlier.
24.
He was 24.
He's 24.
But to put Jarvis Landry as 82, I think he's one of the top 10 receivers.
Oh, I would definitely.
Like, that's just wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
Saquon Barkley's 87, and he's never even played a game.
Like
He's one of the top 100 players. I keep thinking like they're going off of like all time, but I guess they're just going off of
They literally
this
have
coming
to go
season.
off of like what they think is going to
Yeah.
happen. It's just
Deshaun Watson 89. I think he's
Deshaun
He's gonna
Watson
go off this
tore it
year.
up. I bet he has a better season than Wentz.
I don't
Like-
know about that, but
I guarantee he does.
he's gonna do so well this year if he comes back healthy, and he's got Hopkins with him.
No, he's already back. I'm pretty sure.
I keep thinking they're going off of like past seasons, but I guess they're only going off of this coming season.
How can you, I mean, it is a prediction for next season.
That's what I mean. Like but it doesn't make sense.
I just don't
You
understand.
can't
how
say
put-
he's one of the top 100 players above Deshaun Watson. I mean, Deshaun Watson's also brand new in the league, but like he's accomplished. I think he's gonna be so good this year.
Deshaun Watson. I think,
Yeah.
assuming health, I mean, he was lighting up the league last year.
I told Lucas I bet he has a better season than Wentz.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't see why the Browns were like the Browns literally have screwed up so much of the drafting. How do you not select? You pass on Carson Wentz and then you pass on Deshaun Watson, and now they finally go with Baker Mayfield, which I'm very very hesitant
I'm
to see.
excited to see Baker Mayfield.
I think
Is
I
he
hope
on the
he's
list?
good just from a pure like excitement factor, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. what goes.
Who were they trying to get last year, but they didn't turn in the paperwork in time? It was someone
It was
huge.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there
They
wasn't
almost
like
signed fucking.
wasn't New England was like, hey, you give us a second round pick, he's yours, and they were like, oh fuck, and then
Yeah,
they just like
They're like,
completely-
oh yeah, let's do it, but they didn't actually turn in the paperwork in time or something.
Because that's so stupid. Imagine if they would have got Jimmy G last year. This year they could have
They
had.
could have drafted like
They
Saquon
could have had
Barkley.
Saquon Barkley and still got Ward. I think is that who they drafted with the fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they still would have been set.
I just remembered it wasn't Jimmy G. It was AJ McCarron from the Bengals.
Oh,
their
okay, that would have
backup
been bad.
quarterback.
That would
I
have
thought
been
it
bad.
was someone bigger than that.
No, they
No,
definitely almost traded for Jimmy G
that-
though.
I thought
Yeah,
something
they
happened.
tried. But,
I thought New England called him and like no one answered.
but
At least that
yeah, it
the
was something
story.
ridiculous.
the bad facts was the AJ McCarron trade.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
they lucked
That
out.
sounds
Luck
right.
was on their side.
Yeah, they were gonna give up a second round pick for AJ McCarron.
Luck was on their side for that one then. All right. Do you guys have any other comments on the top 100 list besides how
No.
much bullshit?
Yeah,
it is?
don't listen to anything ESPN says.
Well,
Listen to Trash Your Radio.
Yeah, we'll
We are
hit
the
you up
experts.
with those facts.
We have
Chance, are you on set right now? You're
analytics.
going to do a top 10 list of the NFL? You and Lucas
I can
both?
do it. I can do a top 10
I don't
list.
want to.
I'll have it for next podcast.
I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want to do it. Chance will do it.
Chance just talked himself into it. You got. I want a top 10 list from you for
I
next
will.
podcast.
I'll have Shrek's top 10 list.
What I'm going
NFL.
to do is make a list of our next topic, which is NHL.com released top 10 goalies right now in the league, and
I'll let you try to
I-
read the names. I can't read.
I never even want to watch hockey after reading this list again.
What are the
So-
names? Go through them.
Just right off the bat, you got number 1 is Sergei Bobrovsky.
No, not Bobrovsky.
Choke.
You don't have to comment if you don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I just want to keep commenting.
You don't have to. I can see him easily being in the top 10, but putting him as number 1 is just absurd. I can see, because they have number 2 as Braden Holtby, I can see him being number 1 right now only because they got the Stanley Cup last year. And he is always, the Washington Capitals have won a President's Trophy the past 2 years, so they're always winning games, and he's a huge part of that. But to put Bobrovsky above Holtby, and especially at number 1, is just ridiculous. He hasn't got past the first round in the playoffs ever. But he's a great regular season goalie, but I think playoffs matter in this game.
He's also afraid of bears.
Okay,
That matters.
fun fact.
That matters in the NHL.
Number 3 is Andre Vasilevsky, Tampa Bay Lightning. I think that's kind of fitting, maybe not so high. Connor Hellebuck is 4. I like Hellebuck a lot. I think he's going to be one of the top 3 goalies in the league in a couple years. Jonathan Quick with the Kings is kind of he's kind of like Lundqvist. Like, he's been in the league for so long. He's done so much, but Quick actually wins, like, playoffs. Lundqvist doesn't win shit. Quick, I can see him being top 10. Marc-Andre Fleury.
Goat.
Vegas Golden Knights, easily a top 10 goalie. Last year, his playing definitely put him on this list where he is as number 6.
How old is Fleury now?
He's in his 30s.
I feel like he's ancient.
He just signed a 2 or 3 year deal with the Vegas, so he'll be there for more years.
Really?
I mean, I
Good
agree
for
with
him.
6 for that. Pecorino is 7. Another goalie who
He's
he's
got a
just
big
a hit or
pecker.
miss.
He's packing that big pekka.
Like, he's such a good regular season goalie these past few years, but, like, he choked against the Penguins in the Cup Final 17. They fucking ran train on Pecorino in the Cup Finals.
They ran train on his peck.
They
and
ran
last
over his
year,
Pekka.
and last year, Hellebuck beat him in third round.
Well, that's why Hellebuck is up higher than him.
That's what I'm saying. Tuukka Rask is number 8 is a joke. I don't even think Tuukka Rask is top 10 goalie.
Who's he play for?
Boston.
Fuck Boston.
Boston had Malcolm Subban as their backup. I thought they were going to keep him and get rid of Tuukka Rask eventually, but they traded Malcolm Subban to the Knights. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't think he's a good goalie, like easily top half of the league, but not top 10. Frederik Andersen, Toronto Maple Leafs, is number 9. Don't really agree with that either. When he was with the Ducks, he was trash. Now he's with the Leafs, and he is decent at best. But
He is decent.
the Maple Leafs have a terrible defensive core, so I think
So can you blame him for that, for being decent?
no, like he's good, but like if they had a better team, he would be a better goalie. And John Gibson is number 10. John Gibson, local Pittsburgh guy, if you didn't know.
What team does he play for now?
Ducks.
The Ducks. The Mighty Ducks?
The Mighty Ducks.
I thought that was a movie.
No, they're bringing back the Mighty Duck jerseys too. Is their third jerseys here.
That'd be dope.
John Gibson, number 10. I agree
expect
with.
you to have one,
He is a
Lucas.
great goalie. number 10 probably fitting. The biggest thing about this list, not even the fact that I am a diehard Penguin fan, is the fact that Matt Murray is not on the top 10 goalie list.
ESPN must have helped write this thing
Because they don't know
Who
what they're
made this
talking
list?
about. NHL Network.
Well,
You're going to tell me a goaltender who won back-to-back Stanley Cups for the first time since 1991 when the Pittsburgh Penguins did it. Not a big deal. He's not even on top 10 goalie list.
It's bullshit. I'd
Wait,
put
was
him
he-
above Gibson and the dude from Toronto for sure. And Tuukka Rask.
was he the goalie with the Pens whenever we won our last cup? Was he the one like the starter? Or was
Yeah,
it
he
Fleury?
won.
Okay,
He
it
won
was-
both of them.
Oh, he won both of them with us.
Well, 2016, Fleury was a starter,
But was he?
but
like,
he got
concussed or
hurt, so
something like
Murray came in and just carried. Like, he was an animal.
that? Yeah, but how did he do this last time about?
And it was kind of the other way around. I got that wrong. The Red Wings won back-to-back cups in the 90s as well.
Correction.
But,
Thank you, Lucas. Always factual here.
In the 2017 run, Matt Murray got injured in warm-ups game 1 of the playoffs against Columbus, so Marc-Andre Fleury came in. And, I mean, he was amazing as well. You had to contribute both of the cups to Marc-Andre Fleury as well. But Matt Murray easily, like, it's top 10. It just blows my mind.
Last year,
Last year was not a good year for Matt Murray regular season as well, but also the Penguins sucked regular season as well. Our decor is falling apart.
They were just flat out tired.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm
just an
sure probably
excuse everyone's
making
riding, and I agree with it. Like, you're going to play
deep
the
playoff
most
runs.
games out of any team 2 years in a row, and you're still going to keep going. He was battling injury. His father passed away. He had to get 2 injuries. I mean, and he's so young. It's just ridiculous. He's not on the top 10 goalie list.
I agree.
Now, Lucas, are you willing to put out a top 10 goalie list
I'm going to put a top 10 goalie list.
next podcast?
Yeah.
So
Next
it's gonna
pod,
be the
check it
next
out.
podcast would be the top 10 list podcast.
Let's
Just
do
gonna
it.
do nothing but top 10. I say we just do a list every podcast, the top 10 list or top 5.
Tyler's going to do a top 10 edible ladies underwear.
Flavors.
I'm actually gonna do a top 10 Pokemon.
Oh, nice.
But it's all going to be solely based off of the original 150.
Who's your starter out of the...
Are you talking about out of the original?
Out of the
30?
original
first, yeah.
three.
Who
Oh,
do you
dude,
pick?
Squirtle. All
Yeah,
day.
man. Me too,
that's what
bro.
I'm saying. Water type all the way.
Oh,
Dude,
fuck
Charizard's
yeah.
pretty cool. I
keep
feel like a lot of people pick him though.
Dude, Blastoise is like OP.
He's so lit.
Oh, dude, Blastoise. is
Water's the
shit.
best.
Before we transfer over into our video game portion, do we want to talk about the Steelers signing a wide receiver?
I think it's a good pick.
Who'd they sign? Do you know, Lucas? Do you know what their name is?
Pause. I forget already.
I can't remember his name either.
I have it right here. It is
Just pause it. I'm just kidding, Lucas. We never pause.
Ryan Switzer. I knew
Okay,
that.
so
I
the
was
Steelers
just
signed
kidding.
Ryan. Wait, they
Ryan
signed or
Switzer.
traded?
They traded for him.
What did they trade for him? Do you know?
They gave like a
This is a
6th
small
round
pick.
pick or something.
No, I think they moved from like 3rd round to 4th round, or 4th
Yeah,
round to 5th round
they
next year or
did.
something.
So
Give
it
up
was like
much.
pretty much they just took the guy.
Yeah, like, he's not amazing, but his job is to solely kick, return
kick.
kicks and punts.
Well, now is he good at that?
Yeah, he was really good in college. I think last year, his rookie year, he had 1 return.
He's
touchdown.
fast too, and like, it doesn't matter if he's amazing as long as he gets Antonio Brown off of the punt
As
return.
long as he doesn't fumble the fucking ball.
Why wouldn't we have like Juju just do?
Well,
kick
we
return?
also want
Juju
Juju
to be
off
fresh?
Some
the
guys
kick
just
returns.
can't return kicks, you know.
I don't even think
Well, I
about
thought-
that because they're both fast. Juju and AB are probably the fastest Steelers besides Lev Bell, but they don't want your best players
To
getting
just be taking hits and stuff.
destroyed on kickoffs. So
Yeah,
that's
but,
like this
I
guy
mean-
is just solely just, even if he's average at best, he's doing better than what we have now because we don't want to start our best players.
Yeah, but dude, like Antonio Brown kicks punchers and stuff like that. You remember that play from like a year or two
Oh, yeah.
ago?
Fuck yeah, he kicked the Browns punter right in the head.
Could you imagine if that was like a norm? Like if some dude is just
If you're
running
allowed
at
to
you, you
drop
just
kick.
fucking straight up drop kick him.
All right.
All right, well, I guess we'll go into our video game portion then.
Yeet.
Yeah, yeet, coming from the Shrekmeister. So, big news from Microsoft is that Xbox, you can now lease them pretty much. So the current deal is you can get a Xbox One S for a 2-year, it's pretty much 2-year payments of $22 a month, $22 a month for an Xbox One S, and that also gets you Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass that entire time, and then from our understanding, is once those 2 years are up, you then officially own the system.
Yep.
And then also they also have a deal for $35 a month for 2 years. You can do an Xbox One X. So, and that will also get you the Xbox One X, Gold, and Game Pass. So I did some quick math at work today, and if you were to just straight up buy out everything for the Xbox One S, it would cost you $660, and that would be for just the standard Xbox One S, two-year subscriptions of Gold at $60 a piece, and then Game Pass, which I'm pretty sure is $10 a month. So then, if you just did the payments, you're at $528 round. So you're saving what, like 140, 130 bucks?
$132.
$132 you're saving. If you want to do the Xbox One X route, if you did the payments, it would be $840 total. $840 for the Xbox One X, and then if you just bought them all outright, it'd be $860.
So I mean that you're pretty much. That's just an easier way to pay for it if you want the One X. But if you want a One S and you don't do the thing, I mean, I think you're obviously saving a lot of money if you do the game.
I think it's just a good way.
Plan.
Pretty much, it's Microsoft's way of saying, hey, if you wanna be in our gaming community, we'll pretty much spot the interest rate.
I think
you're
it opens up that a lot.
It's
It's not even just the money. Like, you're giving someone Gold and Game Pass. Like, that opens up so many games.
Yeah, but you're paying for it. It's not like you're.
Yeah, but like, I don't really want to pay Game Pass. If you want to have Game Pass, I want to buy Game Pass. But if you're gonna give me Game Pass for free, not for free, but like as part of the monthly subscription, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Look at all these games.
Lucas, I wouldn't have bought Game Pass if you didn't have Game Pass.
Well, you know,
Why the hell do we have Game Pass, Lucas?
But I mean, it's cool that I have it. Like, I play.
No, I'm happy I have it.
I'm using it on purpose just so I get my money's worth. But like,
hey man, golf club.
Golf
Club.
Human Fall Flat, one of the GOAT. But like, yeah, like you're gonna give, like, let's say this kid, like, he has Xbox Live Gold now and he has Game Pass. He has all these games to play with all these kids, like, and it just opens up the community a lot. Even adults.
I think it's just a really good way to get people introduced to the system.
Yeah,
I will say
new
this.
Games.
I know it's only for a limited time. I think it's till December. You have to be in a Microsoft store in order to get it. I think, which I don't.
Yeah.
I think I don't know where the closest one is for us, but I think it's a good idea in the sense that it's a good way to get people in on a cheaper rate. Pretty much, you're saying like, hey, come get it, because once you own the Xbox, you own the Xbox.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Microsoft is thinking, hey, we don't care about the system. We want people to buy the games.
Yeah,
because Game Pass doesn't have everything.
So they're losing $130 if they buy this subscription plan compared to buying up the console. Like, they probably don't care about that because you're hooking someone in with all this opportunity to buy more games.
It's just another way for kids to play Fortnite.
I like it. I think it's a good.
I mean, I think it's a good idea in the sense that
it's
like,
cool. It's interesting. Like, name one other thing that our other company you can buy, like a console and shit.
I wish they would have done this.
Exactly. You can.
Xbox for life. I just wish they would do this whenever like whenever the console first came out. If they would have done that whenever the console first came out, totally cool with it. But at the same time, they wouldn't need to because everyone's just gonna pay the $500. Because you got to remember, Microsoft's taking a hit on this. So if they dropped a new console,
I don't feel like dropping $500 for One X, but like
I did.
Thinking about dropping $35 a month.
I tell you what,
not really
if
that
I
big
was
of a
in
deal.
school still and the Xbox One X came out and they had this deal,
Yeah,
probably would have done
that's
it.
also
because
something. Someone who's working like a minimum wage job, you can afford $35 a month.
Yeah, but
You
it's
can't afford
so much.
$500
Especially in college, whenever you're like, it's so much easier to budget $30 than it is to budget $500.
Exactly. I think it's cool. It's interesting.
Chance, your thoughts? The man who actually owns an Xbox One X here.
I spent $35 at least at the bar, so I mean it's not a bad deal.
Not a bad
Do
deal.
you want to get lit on Yingers and Coors Light, or do you want to play?
Or
Can we do both, please?
Or you want to get lit on Modern Warfare 2, which is now able to be backwards compatible
Nice
right
spin.
now.
Arguably the greatest Call of Duty of all time.
It's not arguably, it is the
It
greatest,
is the greatest Call of Duty of all time.
And it's just as fun as it was back in 2009.
Because it's just as, I mean, literally what
It's
has Call of Duty,
ridiculous.
what has Call of Duty changed since then?
It's crazy how much it's changed. Like, I was telling Chance, me and Chance played last night for, I don't know, like 4 hours probably combined, and like I was so used to. I haven't played that game since it came out, and it came out like 2008, 9 or whatever, 10 maybe.
Let me do a quick Google
It's
search.
been a while.
Keep talking. Let me
But, like,
Googling.
Call of Duty's now like Black Ops, even like 3 and 2, and like What else? Fucking World War II. They're so different. It's such a different style of game. You go back to this game, it's so fast. You die so fast.
It's
like
so
In this
chaotic.
one, or
it's
the,
in Modern
thi-
Warfare 2.
yeah.
Like it's
I
so
just- I thought
crazy.
that, like, all of them were just
It's
that
like
shitty,
so
yeah.
arcadey that it's
It
like
is.
so fun.
Really?
It's
are
wild.
The newer ones that much more
No.
realistic?
The newer ones are, I think, more strategic. This is just fucking all out, balls out, the slaughter fest.
MW2 came out November 10th, 2009.
Okay, I was
So-
right there.
About 9 years late. But I know that was probably the biggest MW2 I played because I wasn't around for the first Modern Warfare. I didn't have Xbox Live at the time.
I played both of them after they were huge.
I never played World at War really. I had it for the Wii.
World at
so-
War was cool.
I played
It was
all of them.
It was only good because it had zombies.
yeah, that was the best part.
I played all of them, and hands down, Modern Warfare 2 is the best.
And like I said, I just feel like Modern Warfare just did everything right enough.
It was just such a fun game, and like every map is good. Like
Yeah,
And
the
also that
guns
was-
are cool.
I feel like that was also one of the first games that like everyone had.
oh,
like,
everyone.
like,
had. If
like
you,
you would
didn't
go
play it, dude, you were lame as fuck.
like you would get on like your friends list and just everyone was just Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Like every person from the top to the bottom was playing.
And the entire time we were playing, just the nostalgia was there. It felt like we were playing like in junior high again. Like
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it just felt, it was so fun.
Now, how long of a replay value do you think? Like, would you guys keep playing it for like weeks after?
As soon as we get done here, I'm gonna go play
I'll
Modern
be
Warfare
honest with
2.
you, I probably won't buy another Call of Duty unless they remake Modern Warfare 2.
Now, would you actually buy a remake of Modern Warfare 2? even if
Hands
you play
down, I
Well,
would.
if they remastered it, I didn't buy remastered Modern Warfare
One.
1 because I didn't play Modern Warfare
They
1.
fucked it up. If
I
they
only played it after the fact.
How'd they mess up the first Modern Warfare?
they added in like
Remake.
microtransactions
Yeah.
and fucking melee weapons.
And you don't think they would do that with this one?
I hope they would.
I just
I'm
hope
sure
they-
they would.
Yeah,
But
it would still be better than a new Call of Duty.
all they would need to do is just update the graphics. Don't change any of the gameplay. Just update the graphics.
And nerf noob tubes.
I would
'cause
probably pay $60 for an upgraded graphics DLC.
I don't know if I'd pay
for
60, but I'd probably pay at least.
I would
30.
I think
pay
if it was
60.
$40, that'd be a good price.
I would pay 60.
$40 for a new MW2. I could spend
But
that.
it was a lot of fun, and I'm really happy. And it just came out of nowhere. People were like, "Oh!" Ever since they announced backwards compatibility, they were like, "Oh, Modern Warfare 2 years ago."
It's literally
and
been
now,
the most demanded
yeah.
game for like 2 years.
And it just
and why
happened.
did it take Xbox 2 years to put it out?
I don't-
Demand.
I don't never just building up the fucking
Yeah, it
demand.
has to be that.
I just looked at Twitter yesterday and Major Nelson, one of Xbox's PR guys, just fucking tweeted that it was out today, and I went home and fucking popped my disc in.
I started typing in Modern Warfare in the store, and it wouldn't come up. Like I was like, "Oh shit, is this like a hoax?" And like, I had to search through a couple pages for some reason to find it, but
Oh,
it
really?
showed up. Yeah. It was
See, I
weird.
literally just came home, popped my disc in from the old 360.
Well, I looked on
and
the
it
store
fired
first to see
straight
if it
up.
was actually on there. I was expecting to see like an ad, like Modern Warfare 2 is out now. Like now it's backwards compatibility. I didn't see anything.
See, I
for it.
figured if it was anything like that, it would just be like, yeah, we can't read this disc. And I'd be like, oh, guess I was lied to then.
Yeah, I couldn't find my disc either. I was worried. Like, no, I don't want that. It's only $15 right now in the store.
Even
Isn't
still.
bad, but
I actually bought a disc a couple months ago when I went to GameStop.
Why?
It was like $7, and I was like, "Fuck, this game's gonna be backwards compatible at some point. And I'm gonna have it now."
Good call.
I think I bought it back in October.
See that
Metal disc.
hardened set right
Just
there?
look at
That
the
just
cover.
makes
Like
me
it's
hard
so
looking
cool.
at
Dude,
it.
tell me how sweet that is. Sorry for all the listeners 'cause you can't actually see it, but just Google search
like-
MW2 Xbox 360 Hardened Edition. You'll see what we're all getting hard over right
And not even
now.
just the multiplayer. Like campaign in that game was
Just
was
everything.
amazing.
Is that the one with Gillied Up or was that? The
No, that was
MW1?
more for one.
Dude,
We
the
talked
one you
about
had.
this.
I
You
know,
idiot.
but still.
But just the whole like, because this was Modern Warfare. Like it's not future. It's not like past. So we lived during this time where all this shit was happening. Like this could have happened. Like fucking, what is it? Russians took
Where
over, Koreans,
30,000
whatever.
people used
It
to
still
live there.
could fucking happen.
Well, I think
Yeah,
the problem
that's
is
why
now,
it was cool. It was interesting. Like they were in America fighting terrorists in America. I think that's what made it so cool. Like,
Ramirez protected Burger Town, man.
the Burger Town was sick.
He protected Burger Town.
We're gonna have to play the campaign. Okay, I'll just. Play through
And the
campaign.
greatest mission of all time,
What?
no Russian.
that is not the. That is not the best mission of all time.
I almost just went back to play that one just to have some fun.
You're fucking terrible, dude. You're terrible. Well, I think that's another problem is that right now is like there's no, like current shooters. Like, all the Black Ops, like, isn't that supposed to be modern? Like it's like
I think Black.
Upcoming?
Oh,
They're still
I don't
future.
fucking know.
yeah, like their future and like
They started out like Cold War era, and then like
Black
the,
Ops
Black
1
Ops
is
the last two have
easily
been futuristic.
Black Ops 1 is easily the second best Call of Duty game.
I think yeah, it's also a solid
That
one.
campaign is also amazing.
But that was like the first like Mind Freak one where like it was
Yeah.
like whoa, what's
That
going
was
on
awesome.
here? But I think the problem is that like I don't think enough games are like current. Like they're
No.
either like futuristic or they're old. Like I wish
Yeah.
I wish so badly Battlefield would just come out with current one. Like Battlefield 5, just make
But
that
there were
current.
so many for so long. That's why people are like, oh, let's get a future one. Now we want to go back to the past. Like they just
Yeah, we keep getting burnt out on all these fucking
Yeah.
time periods.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's just one of those things where there's just a wave that you have to ride. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you have to have future, then you'll have current, then you'll have like past,
There's
then
probably-
you'll
that's
go
why
back
it's
to
probably
And they all
Right.
fucking copy each other, like fucking Battlefield, COD. You know, if COD goes futuristic, fucking Battlefield's going futuristic. You know.
Oh yeah, that is true.
and like even with Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty World War 2, I'm already tired of the old shit.
Well, I think the other thing is that like Call of Duty puts out a game almost yearly.
It
at
is
this
a
point.
yearly.
So yeah, it puts out one
They
yearly.
have 3 developers
Yeah, so
developing
every-
games.
So like 2 years ago they put out what Black Ops 3, or was it Black Ops 3 or was it?
It was
Infinity?
Advanced
No,
Warfare.
It was Advanced Warfare. So
Yeah.
then they put out World War 2.
Black Ops 3 and then World War 2.
Black Ops 3, then World War 2.
Yeah.
Where's
World War 2 's
Advanced?
the-
No, I think it was
thing.
Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, then World War 2.
Okay, so then now
I
they're
don't think
going
so.
back to the future with Black Ops 4. So then are they going to go back to present?
Well,
or
they're
something
different
like that?
developers, so you can't
Well, yeah,
say they're going World War 2 and then future, because Black Ops, the
But I can't say
series
that
is
because
going.
that's like the franchise though.
Yeah.
Like it's the Call of Duty brand.
I mean, I don't know.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's like the Call
World
of Duty
War, World
brand.
War
is-
2, the game just sucked. It wasn't a good game.
Well,
it
I
wasn't
just
because
think
it was old. It
they're
was just a
trying to
bad
hit
game.
everything. Like they're just trying to if they just figure so people don't get fatigued about future shit and whatnot. It's like, oh, we'll just hit everything. Because then everyone hated Advanced Warfare because they said it was just like
Yeah,
Advanced Warfare was
sucked.
so bad that they had to package it with the Modern Warfare remaster. Just so
Exactly.
people
No,
would
that
buy it.
was Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare,
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
one we're missing. Advanced
That's-
Warfare was before
yeah.
Black Ops 3. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
that is right.
I never,
Yeah,
that's the one Call of Duty game I never even played was Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, I
'Cause I
bought it
didn't
just
fucking
for
pay for it.
Modern Warfare remastered.
The last Modern Warfare or the last Call of Duty I played was probably Black Ops 3, and that was just like, and before that it was Modern
Black Ops
Warfare
3
3.
is decent.
Yeah,
And I only
actually
played
enjoyed
zombies.
Black
I only
Ops
played the
3.
zombies with my
It's
roommate.
pretty good.
So that was about it.
But yeah. But we all wanted old stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm tired of the future. Let's go back to the old." Now we got
Oh, yeah.
Battlefield 1 and World War 2, Call of Duty. Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of burnt out on it.
I
The next
just
Battlefield's
really-
gonna be in the past.
It's gonna be World War II. I really wish they would have just said, "Hey, we're gonna come out with just Battlefield 5 is gonna be the next current shooter."
Yeah,
So I mean, like
want
when
some
all these
modern
current
shit.
games were coming out, there were actually like wars and shit going on. There's not really much going on right now.
Which is good. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
But
like,
if we
I
need
would
to
rather
spice
s-
some things up to get a
Well,
good
they
Call
could-
of Duty game out, you drop a nuke
They could
somewhere.
even
I
go
don't
back to like Desert Storm or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like I'm even
like
okay with them
90s.
doing like, even though it's been done 100 times, like do China invades us or do like Russia invades us or do like.
know. The 90s. Would be
What if
sick.
Afghanistan like invaded us instead of us invading Afghanistan?
I hope that never happens.
It'd get
but,
too cold.
But guess what? That'd be a line that I would play.
What if
that
they
was
wanted
something-
like our oil instead of us taking their oil?
Well, I think the other thing is that people like shooters like that don't care about campaign anymore as well.
I'm a huge campaign guy. That's
I
why I
feel
was
like-
super disappointed with Black Ops 3 because the campaign was absolute trash.
I haven't played a good campaign in Call of Duty in a while.
Black Ops 2
I just think they don't
was
give a shit
good.
because they know that people like what you spend like 8 hours on the campaign, then you're gonna spend the next 200 hours on multiplayer. So
Yeah.
they're like,
I still like playing the campaign. I like good
but yeah,
stories.
so do I. I enjoy good.
Like
campaign.
they all had good stories, like from all the Modern Warfares, all the Black Ops, except for 3. Like Black Ops 1 and 2 were great stories. They're tied together. Same with all the Modern Warfares. They're all tied together. But I don't remember the World War 2 campaign because it wasn't good enough.
It
Like,
wasn't horrible, but it definitely
Nothing
wasn't
stands
good.
out.
Yeah, like none of the missions were like, wow, that's nuts.
I remember going undercover as a Nazi. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a weird mission.
But Battlefield campaigns aren't good.
Well, Battlefield tried to do something, which I give them credit for at least trying it. In Battlefield 1, they were like, we're just going to do stories. We're going to do war stories is what they are.
It wasn't bad, but it
So
wasn't.
instead of doing like a whole campaign based around one person, they just said,
it's
hey,
different.
we'll do snippets. Which like, hey, you know what? They shot their shot. You know what I mean? I can't knock them for shooting their shot like that.
I was a big fan of the Bad Company campaigns.
Bad Company 2, I
Those are good
think,
ones.
was a really good game.
I thought they did a good job, like in those games, like developing characters.
good
and
character
shit.
development.
And, like all the other Battlefields, like you could give two fucks like who was on screen and whatnot during the campaign.
Oh yeah, because it didn't matter. I mean,
Yeah, it didn't
even
fucking
like
matter.
in the war stories, you couldn't get attached to the people.
No.
But you just saw a bunch of different. It was a way to show like just to have a bunch of different campaign missions and have it make sense. Because like it wouldn't make sense back then if you had someone like some random like American soldier who landed on Normandy, but then somehow made all of the way to like the Arabian desert to fight like people on horseback.
Sounds
and shit.
exactly like Call of Duty, like 2.
Well, yeah. So see, Call of Duty can do, but Call of Duty doesn't care about its campaign. But like the Battlefield was probably thinking, hey, like we'll at least have some sort of thought, logical process
It was
about
different.
this.
It was all right, but I don't know.
Well, no.
Battle Royales are gonna be the new campaign.
Dude, I'm okay
That's all
with
that
that.
matters.
I'm okay with that. The new
Me too.
Battlefield Royale or the
I can't wait for more
Royale,
info on
whatever it
that.
is. I was watching gameplay today from Jack Frags, him playing Battlefield 5, and it looked kind of sick. But I mean, he wasn't playing. He was just playing.
It's just gonna be
multiplayer.
another Battlefield game.
Which I'll
Call of
still
Duty
buy.
is just gonna be another Call of Duty game. They're all the same. It's just
That's just how it is now. It's just a staple.
It is what it is. What it is.
still gonna play it.
Well, considering we just talked a whole shit ton about the comparison and how Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty, a report came out that Battlefield is extremely behind in pre-order sales for Call of Duty. Do you guys have any thoughts or comments as to why this would be?
It's mainly because everyone is just boycotting the fuck out of EA. EA publishes Battlefield, and EA's been putting a lot of bullshit microtransactions in all their games, like pay-to-win stuff. It requires no skill to get good at the game. You just pay like an extra $20 and you're like max level, best shit, And people don't want that. It's bullshit.
So you think it's based heavily on EA? You think that's like the
Oh,
main
that is
contributor?
100% why. The EA fucked up Star Wars Battlefront 2 this past year, like, so badly. Like, it's still so fucked up that so many people were turned off by this. Because the same people who made Battlefield 2 or Battlefront 2 are making Battlefield 5. Like, all the developers left Battlefront 2 to go to Battlefield 5.
I just don't see a need to pre-order games. What do you get besides like DLC? I don't care
You get
enough
that
to
sweet
get DLC.
GameStop camo, bro.
Like it's so like I
It's all
used
about
when I pre-ordered like games like back in the day at GameStop. It was because I wanted the copy. I didn't want them to sell out, so I
Yeah.
pre-ordered a copy.
Exactly.
If you're pre-ordering digital like game on the
Content.
store, what is the point?
Well, I know some games, if you buy them digitally on the store, you get them like 3 days earlier.
Still
Oh,
not.
really?
Yeah, like Madden. If you bought Madden or pre-ordered Madden on the Xbox store, you got it like 3 days before the release date.
I don't know.
I know, like, for me personally, at least, like, I have, what all do I pre-order? I have Smash, I have Mario Party.
Why did you
pre-ordered.
pre-order those?
Well, so mainly the reason why those are technically pre-ordered right now is because my sister owed me money for my parents' anniversary, the present that we got her. So I was like, hey, just pre-order those games and we'll call it even. So there was that. But I shot myself in the foot. Like the Fallout 76 beta, that's gonna be coming out here within a month or so, I'd say.
Yeah, something like that I could see pre-order. But
And so I'm gonna pre-order that. But I'm not gonna pre-order it at GameStop. I've decided. I think I'm gonna go Amazon.
You need to go Amazon.
I'm gonna pre-order. I figured I was gonna pre-order 76 Battlefield 5 at some point. I'm just not gonna do it right now. But I'm only gonna pre-order them solely for the fact of that I just want to come home one day and boom, there's a game sitting there.
If you pre-order games from Amazon, you get $10 off the game.
No, they stopped doing that.
Well, I saw they stopped, but you did before. That's why.
And
I
that's
did
what's
it.
yeah,
screwed me
that's a
over.
bonus. But for like we're talking about comparing Call of Duty and Battlefield pre-sales, there's no need to pre-order those games.
No, because they're gonna be there.
yeah,
No
I
one's
think
worried
it's-
about them selling out.
I think it's that, and I also think it's one of those things where people know if they're gonna get the game or not. Like Battlefield and Call of Duty have been around so long that people know what a Battlefield game is. People know what a Call of Duty game is. They know if they're gonna want to get it, and they know if they're not. And
I'm
it's
not
probably
going to drop $60 in June to play a game that comes out in November. Like, I'll just buy it then.
It might also be a factor of Call of Duty already had their beta for Black Ops 4. So, like, people have played it, and they got to feel if they liked it or not. And Battlefield has, like, released nothing.
But did you have to pre-order?
You already had to have the pre-order.
No, you could, like, sign up for the code.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you had, like,
Well-
Xfinity, you could, like, sign up and you got a free
Well,
code.
I will say though, I think like stuff like that will help pre-orders because like for Fallout 76, I will pre-order it now as opposed to waiting
Yeah,
like
that's
3
a good
months,
incentive. But if
because I want to try the game now. I'm gonna buy the game regardless, but I just want to try it now and I want to get a little taste.
But if you give me like a weapon skin or like one more map, I'm not gonna pre-order your game. There's just no need to.
No, not
And especially
anymore.
because they always like, oh yeah, buy this for $80 right now. Like no, I'll buy the cheapest one possible if I want to play it.
Well, the one bonus about GameStop is that like you could at least go in and say like, hey, like if you did want those extra loot items and stuff like that. Like I think whenever New Vegas came out, really throwback to Fallout New Vegas. Pretty sure if you pre-ordered it, you got like. You started the game with like 5 stim packs and like
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I got
and like
that
a
shit.
10mm pistol or something like that. And it was like, okay, like that'd be cool to have. So I'm just gonna put $5 down now, and then that way I'll just go and I'll just buy the game. I'll pay the $60 whenever I go and pick up the game then as well. So, but with Amazon and stuff, you pretty much have to pay all of it right at once. You can't.
Yeah, but it doesn't charge you until the day it ships.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so you can like cancel it like the day before, and you wouldn't charge you.
But I'm a digital guy now. I don't like buying discs.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I still like this.
I'm a disc guy. I like
But-
having the physical copy.
I don't know. I like sharing Xbox with like my one friend, so we get each other's games.
Lucas, why would you just say that over this podcast?
They know it's happening. That's why they don't care.
Fair enough.
But it's just so much easier just having them there without having to get up and switch discs. So that's why pre-ordering's stupid if you buy it on digital store. That was basically my whole point.
Well, I know the other big thing now is like with pre-orders. I mean, not so much probably anymore, but like whenever I was like in school still, the nice thing about pre-ordering online was that you could get the game at like midnight and like no other like
Yeah, midnight releases real hype.
yeah, and like GameStop doesn't like not every game is gonna be midnight released. Like I think whenever like PUBG came out at midnight, and I remember all of us got it digitally. I thought just that we would have it to play it.
Yeah.
I didn't play it till the next morning because my internet was terrible.
Well,
but,
the whole game was actually digital.
oh
Like,
yeah, but
if-
but you could still go to the store and buy like a physical
A
copy.
code. You
It
buy
was just a
It
code
was just
in
a
a
box.
case,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a box in
Yeah,
a
it's
case
fucking
or a code
stupid.
in a box. Yeah, I know. I sold a shit ton of them.
Shout out to me and Pinto because we bought Evan DeFalco digital PUBG
Oh,
at Walmart.
Shout out to Evan DeFalco, who's probably going to listen to this at some point.
hopefully.
If
But what if he
doesn't,
just
we'll
lies
cut
to
his
us?
balls off.
But yeah, so I just think like the pre-order. I think pre-orders are just now they're not required anymore. I think the way as a developer, if you want to get people to pre-order, you have to have demos or you have to have a good incentive, because people know nowadays that guess what? If I don't want, I know there's an infinite amount of digital copies of a game.
Yeah, that's what
There's
my
an
point
infinite
was.
amount.
If you don't buy a physical copy, if you don't have some type of tie to a physical copy, there's no need to do it.
Yeah, and
Just buy digital.
I
It's
mean,
going
like
to be
you said,
there.
you're going digital, which I don't know. Part of me really wants to go digital, but part of me also really likes having the physical disc.
I used to like having a disc, but like I said, I just stopped and I just
I
haven't
don't see why
gone
you
back.
can't have both. Honestly,
I just have this fear that like at one point like Microsoft's cloud that has all these digital games on it, it's just like gonna fuck up. Like if like 10 years down the road, if you want to play a game that you have digitally, like you can't just
How
pop
are
it
they
in
going
like
to know?
a
Yeah.
like a Wii or a Nintendo 64 or something like that because you don't have it.
I mean, I just think everything's internet based now, so you can't.
Yeah,
it's going to be so
The
different.
cloud
in a
will
couple
be
years.
around for a while.
and plus the other thing I like is, I mean, technically, like I don't really, I know Chance you partake in it a lot more, but like trading in and stuff like that. Like I did it a couple times, mainly whenever I worked at GameStop, just because I got extra money. But like if you have a digital copy, obviously you can't trade stuff in, and you also can't buy used, which I like buying used.
I mainly trade
Sometimes.
in sports games.
Really.
So like I'll buy like so the new NHL comes out like in 2 weeks. So I'll go
yeah.
trade in like my old NHL and
You're gonna
put money
trade it in
towards
now?
the new one.
But
Yeah.
trade
I
in
think
now?
they have a digital incentive program too, like NHL loyalty rewards, even if you don't have physical copy. I think all sports games should do that. If you buy
Well,
it year
dude,
by
I could
year,
go
I
in-
think the next year should be cheaper.
I could go into a whole rant about sports games and how much bullshit they are, but
But we buy them every year.
oh yeah, oh no,
And they barely change.
I can. That's another topic for another podcast, because unfortunately this is the end of this podcast of Trash Deer Radio episode 2.
Glad you guys are listening.
Unless you guys
It
have
was a
any,
good episode.
any closing remarks or anything like that, anything you want to leave the audience with?
I think Chick-fil-A's should be open on Sunday. I think it's
Chick-fil-A is the
bullshit.
greatest restaurant of all time.
I think it's bullshit that they close on Sunday because if
They're
I want,
Christian. They're Christian.
they sell the
Praise
best
Jesus.
fucking chicken sandwiches, and if I'm hungry for one on Sunday, I can't go there. It's fucking bullshit.
R.I.P.
Now, Lucas, do you have any compelling argument like that to end it on? Like Taco Bell should be open in your living room. That way you don't have to drive.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
Peace.